Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock and we begin tonight with breaking news and the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. In the last hour and a half, NBC News has confirmed law enforcement detained a man for questioning. Now, it's not clear if they have any update on the whereabouts or condition of the missing 84-year-old, but tonight's development comes after the FBI released these black and white security camera photos and video of a potential subject outside Guthrie's Tucson home the morning she disappeared. Tonight, investigators have not confirmed if the man detained is the person that you see here in these images from this doorbell camera. He is reportedly being questioned right now by the Pima County Sheriff's Office. The mother of Today Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie was reported missing more than a week ago. The FBI is not yet commenting on the man who's been detained. And we're also following breaking news tonight here in Indianapolis. Police tell us a person was seriously injured in a crash after driving away from police. This crash took place in the last hour near 38th and College. This is a live look there at the scene. You can see police are there. We're working now to learn what led to all of this. And we'll be following both of these breaking news stories closely overnight. You'll be able to see any breaking developments on Sunrise, which gets underway at 4 a.m. Tonight, a 39-year-old man suspected in the disappearance and death of Haley Busby is facing federal charges in this case. 13 News was the only Indianapolis TV station in Columbus for Tyler Thomas's first federal hearing. Currently, none of the counts he faces are directly linked to killing that Fisher's teen. So we wanted to know tonight how a complicated case like this one comes together and what we may be able to expect as it develops. Our Logan Gay took our questions to a legal experts to break it down for us. Logan?
Criminal defense attorney Katie Jackson Lindsay says while this case may look clear-cut to many people, prosecutors are likely being extremely careful, making sure every step is done right to prevent legal challenges down the road. 39-year-old Tyler Thomas is now indicted on federal charges of sexual exploitation of a minor and traveling across state lines with the intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. If convicted, he could face up to 30 years in prison on each count. So far, there are no charges connected to Haley Busby's killing, but criminal defense attorney Katie Jackson Lindsay says that doesn't mean they aren't coming.
While this case has been going on for some time, they're probably still at the investigative and fact-gathering stage. And so I think in a situation where they already have the suspect in custody, they already have some level of cooperation, I think it's very responsible and prudent to not file charges just yet, because you want to make sure you file the appropriate charge that's going to stick in the event of trial.
Jackson Lindsay says charging someone with murder is a detailed process.
The crime of murder, that is one of the most complicated and serious crimes on our law books across the country. And so that's a crime that when you charge it, you want to make sure that you get it right.
She says one major factor could be the multiple jurisdictions tied to this case. Court documents show Thomas allegedly picked up Haley from her home in Fishers, drove to his home in Columbus, Ohio, and to a short-term rental in Hocking County, Ohio. Investigators say Thomas later led them to Haley's remains in the Wayne National Forest in Perry County.
It's unusual to that extent because it is multiple crimes that are crossing multiple jurisdictions, which may make it difficult for prosecutors or investigators to determine where each individual act happened and where each individual act needs to be charged.
Regardless of what happens next, Thomas's lawyer tells 13 News he's ready to fight for his client.
We're going to defend it. We're going to defend it vigorously. We're going to deal with the charges straight up, and we'll deal with professional and capable prosecutors, whether it's in state court or federal.
When we spoke to Thomas's lawyers at today's federal hearing, he was asked if he expected him to face murder charges. He responded in part, "I don't think it's much of a leap to suggest that they're considering jurisdiction over that aspect of the case."
All right, Logan, thanks. We'll continue to cover that big story. Lawmakers just voted to support a bill that would expand Amber Alerts across Indiana. This is a move backed by the parents of Haley Busby. An amendment to this bill adds that a missing child can be considered a high-risk missing person. Lawmakers tell us it could help find kids in danger more quickly. So this bill will now get a second reading in the state Senate. Support for the Busby family is popping up all around central Indiana. Look at this. You can see these pink lights are up at the Fishers government buildings to honor Haley. Pink was the girl's favorite color. And the city of Lawrence posted photos on social media. They're putting up pink ribbons around town. You can see them at the Lawrence Government Center and at the Civic Plaza. Haley's Celebration of Life takes place on Thursday in Fishers. The public is invited to pay their respects. We've got the time and location posted for you right now over on WTHR.com. Angela?
Scott, it was a much warmer Tuesday. High temperatures today well into the 50s for most of central Indiana. We're cooling back down at this hour. 36 in Indianapolis, 31 Kokomo, 30 in Lafayette. Still a few 40s on the map south and west of Indianapolis. Headed to school, grab the coat. Headed to work, grab the coat. You'll need it most of the day tomorrow. Temperatures during the morning hours in the 20s. We will climb into the 30s by late morning, early afternoon. High temperatures tomorrow afternoon. Quite a bit cooler than what we had today. Upper 30s, low 40s.
All right, thanks so much, Angela. Tonight, questions about water use and development brought neighbors, utilities, and lawmakers face to face. Our Alex Almanza shows us tonight why some say this LEAP project in Boone County is moving too fast and too quietly.
Inside this meeting room, a lot of anger, frustration, and just general questions about one of Indiana's largest economic developments. The focus of the debate in this community meeting, water. Specifically, how much the LEAP district in Boone County could eventually use. Utility leaders say the plan is designed to meet future demand without draining local resources.
We are expanding 2 of our water plant facilities and then putting new pipes in the ground to get up to 25 million gallons of water per day to Lebanon Utilities as a wholesale customer.
Citizens Energy says that water would come from its regional system and that Eagle Creek is not the primary source being expanded. They also address concerns about treated wastewater. Lebanon Utilities, which is handling that, says water that goes back is fully treated, regulated under the Clean Water Act. For residents living along the proposed pipeline route, the concern goes beyond water quality.
But this is not just affecting Marion County, and it's not just the environmental, which is scary. They're running roughshod over all the residents in the 3 counties in order to get this water line in.
Russell says homeowners worry about property values and whether alternatives were considered.
I hope that the state is listening as well and don't have projects like this again anywhere else, because it's not fair to the residents of Marion County.
State Representative Cherish Pryor says residents have raised questions about water safety, rising utility costs, and long-term accountability, concerns she plans to bring back to the State House. Citizens Energy says that they will continue to hold more in-person information sessions for people who may have more questions. In Pike Township, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Tonight, residents are pushing back against a proposed data center in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. One Voice, which is a community advocacy group, hosted this public meeting. The company Metro Blocks is behind the proposal that would bring the facility to 25th and Sherman. Now, some Hoosiers living in this area say it is not the right project for their community.
These direct impacts are, which I know everybody in this room already know now what those impacts are, but it's water quality, it's noise, it's air pollution, property values if you're living next to them, and your health outcomes, because some people are more sensitive, like to noise.
We also got a chance today to talk with Metro Block CEO Ernest Popescu, who was not at tonight's public meeting. He did attend one back in September, but told 13 News it was not productive.
We want to have dialogue that progresses and advances the project, and that's unifying, as opposed to continuing to sort of fuel the divisive nature of some of the opposition.
Popescu went on to tell us his company will invest at least $2.5 million toward affordable housing and infrastructure improvements. There is a rezoning hearing for this proposed data center that takes place Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock.